This is OperaPulse's first installment of The Future of Opera. In this video, we've asked Lake George Opera's artistic director, Curtis Tucker, and Met singer Liam Bonner, where do you see opera in 10 years?
Where would I see opera in 10 years? Fully funded. That's the great challenge, of course, for opera companies is balancing artistic ambition and goal with fiscal accountability and reality. And we've come through a difficult economic period recently. Right. Everybody has, and that's impacted the industry and every company. So, it's hard not to think about those things. But
I know that we're in this economic crisis, and I know that there's always this talk of opera dying out, and it's evident with some of these companies going under.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad, but I don't see opera dying out completely ever. I think it's a product right now with the current economic situation. And I think a lot of these smaller companies sprung up because of places like the San Francisco Western Opera Theater tour and the Met when they used to tour. They brought opera to these smaller communities.
Mm-hmm.
And exposed people to opera, and they got hooked, and they started their own companies. And if you notice, the Western Opera Theater tour doesn't exist anymore. The Texas Opera Theater tour doesn't exist anymore. The Met doesn't tour the United States because opera started to thrive, and it was growing, and all these companies sprung up.
Should we rely on traditional productions or search for new innovations like the Met's HD simulcast?
I love the focus on, I'm a musician, I'm a composer, was a singer, so the music is really, really important to me. But what's great about opera and what makes it different is storytelling. It's funny, I've done productions here where we've updated them. We did Set La Traviata in Las Vegas. I've done some somewhat different things here. So I'm not completely traditional in my view, except that I want my audience to get the story, and I don't want for them to have to work too hard at it.
Mm-hmm.
I want them to be entertained.
Something about the movie experience where some things get lost on these big stages.
Mm-hmm.
And to have those close-ups with the camera really involves you. And you actually see, I think it's one of the reasons that opera singers get such a bad rap for being bad actors. I think you actually lose a lot of the intensity.
Mm-hmm.
But you see it in all of these HD productions, the intensity that they're bringing to
Mm-hmm.
both the singing and the acting. And it's all there and it's all involved. And the comment that my father made actually was, he thought that maybe it would kill local companies because people would just say, well, we don't need to go locally, we'll just go to the movie theater and see the Met's productions.
Mm-hmm.
I think the opposite. I think that people go from these smaller towns and see the Met's productions and get excited again.
Mm-hmm.
And say, we want to do this ourselves too. Yes, we want to see the Met's productions, but we want to have our own.
In general, where should it go? It should just continue down the path of being really great storytellers through this medium. That's where the story and the emotion is enhanced through music. That's the real opera experience for me.
I guess that's my hope then, that in 10 years, a lot of these companies that unfortunately we've lost, we'll be back. Orlando Opera and Baltimore Opera and Connecticut Opera, amongst others.
As always, here's how you can learn more about our interviewees.
My name is Liam Bonner. I'm a baritone. You can visit my website at www.liambonner.com. The next production I'll be in will be Hamlet, singing the role of Hamlet with Washington National Opera, followed by the role of Dottore Malatesta in Don Pasquale with Opera New Jersey in Princeton this summer. And my favorite food, well, I just gave up cheese for Lent, and Lent is over, so right now I'm on a cheese kick.
Well, hi, I'm Curtis Tucker. I'm the artistic director for Lake George Opera Saratoga in Saratoga Springs, New York. And we've got a great summer program, but we have other programs we do throughout the year. And you can always get information about all of those things at lakegeorgeopera.com. operaculture.org. I'm also a composer and have a couple of operas that I've written in the last few years. One's a chamber opera called The Stranger's Tale, which has had 2 productions, and the other's a brand new opera, just finished it. It's called The Trial of Bb Wolfe. It's sort of an opera for families. It's got all your great characters, Little Red and Big Bad Wolf, that children will know and love. But it's got a very witty libretto by Nelson Shealy, and I think it's a great piece to share for families, kids and parents and grandparents all alike. It can appeal to, and so that would be something to check out. And you can get information about me and my works and so forth at my own website, which is curtistuckermusic.com. And I hope you do that. And what is my favorite food? I think I have a lot of favorite foods, but if I have to pick one, I guess I'm going to go back to my roots. I'm from Kansas City, and I'm a barbecue guy, and so my favorite food, I'm going to say, is Burn-In's Barbecue from Kansas City.
Stay tuned next week for our second installment of The Future of Opera.